something sinister is going on and Disney's covering it up. Between January of 2000 to December of 2019, there were 623 reported deaths and nearly 300 disappearances on cruise ships worldwide. In fact, it's considered fairly easy to get away with murder aboard a cruise ship. I mean, all you gotta do is push someone overboard and claim they fell on their own. Today, let's take a look at one of the most mysterious disappearances of all time, and that's the disappearance of Rebecca Coriam, a young worker for Disney who disappeared off of the Disney Wonder cruise ship back in 2011. Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay Ivan for those of you who don't know me. But before I begin, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. You know, stick around for a while, okay? Because I now upload new videos weekly. That's right, folks. Get excited. So today, let's tackle this very dark and depressing cold case. Rebecca Coriam was a 24-year-old woman from Chester, England. She got a job working on the Disney Wonder cruise ship as a youth counselor. Her job was to take care of the kids on the ship. In fact, she referred to this job as her dream job. Little did she know that she would become the first person to ever disappear off of a Disney cruise ship. Rebecca had recently graduated from a sports science degree at Exeter University. She had been working aboard the ship for 9 months and apparently loved it. Sadly, things took a turn for Rebecca. On March 22nd, 2011, in the early hours of the morning, Rebecca disappeared on or from the ship. At 9 a.m. that morning, Rebecca didn't show up to her shift, which was very unusual. She was never late, nor had she ever missed a shift. That's when the Disney staff were told to search the ship for her. This came of nothing. When she wasn't found, the Mexican Coast Guard was called and searched the waters for her. Again, this came of nothing. Rebecca was missing without a trace. Now, here's where it gets frustrating. So Disney registered the ship in the Bahamas. They do this in order to pay less taxes, etc. If it was registered in the States, they would obviously have to pay more. So they do it so that they spend less money. But since ownership is in the Bahamas, that means they're responsible for investigating Rebecca's disappearance. And they sent one policeman from the Bahamas to investigate her disappearance. This one man was then responsible for forensic investigation and interviewing 3,000 passengers and all the crew members. And obviously, he didn't do the best job at all because his investigation only took a few hours. Yes, a few hours. So we can all agree that his investigation was lame and not good at all. And then when the investigation was done, he refused to share his findings with Rebecca's parents. Probably because he didn't have any. Mike and Ann Coriam, her parents, flew to Los Angeles on March 25th to meet the ship as it arrived back. That's when they briefly met this policeman. They asked him if he was staying aboard the ship, and he said he was going back to the Bahamas. He had been on the ship for about a day and a half, and then just went back home. It was later revealed that the passengers weren't even questioned, and most of the staff weren't either. So yeah, he did a very lousy job. Now, while aboard the ship, Rebecca's parents were getting pushed to believe by Disney that their daughter just fell overboard. They claimed that a freak wave knocked her off the vessel, but the weather conditions that night were inconsistent with that claim. But Disney is insistent that that is what happened.
I said what I said.
Eventually, Disney released their CCTV footage from that night. According to articles published at the time of Rebecca's disappearance, Disney refused to disclose the number of CCTV cameras that they had and the locations of their cameras for, they said, security reasons.
That's suspicious.
And they claim they have no footage of Rebecca going overboard.
That's weird.
Yeah, okay, that is absolutely BS. She was seen on footage talking on a phone, wearing men's clothing, and she apparently looked visibly distressed. Then you see this young boy walk up to her, ask if she's okay. According to the boy, she said that she was fine. Then she put the phone down, turned around, and walked off. What happened after that remains a huge mystery. That was the last time anyone had seen or heard from Rebecca. What's hard to believe is that Disney doesn't have CCTV footage of what happened to Rebecca after that. The security on Disney cruise ships is very tight. Even staff agree to that. They film every and anything. They monitor the guests' every move. So how is it that they don't have footage of what happened to Rebecca? They do. Even a Disney worker on the ship claims that they do. When interviewed, he said, and I quote, "Disney knows exactly what happened. That phone call she had, it was taped. Everything here is taped. There's CCTV footage everywhere. Disney has the tape." Now, they're probably not releasing this footage because they believe it will ruin their family-friendly reputation, which makes you wonder, what really happened to Rebecca? Something sinister is going on and Disney's covering it up. Now here's where this whole thing gets even more twisted. When Rebecca's parents were aboard the ship, the crew showed them the CCTV footage of their daughter on that phone call. They claimed that this was from Deck 5, saying that after the phone call, she went out on the deck where she was wiped away by this wave. Well, it turns out that this footage had been edited and cropped. They did this to hide the timestamp and location of the phone call. Turns out that this occurred on Deck 1, not Deck 5 like they originally claimed. Then Disney gave the parents proof that their daughter got swept away by a wave by saying they found Rebecca's sandals near the spot where she was swept away. This sandal was both the wrong size and style of Rebecca's. They were a size and a half too small for her, and her friends aboard the ship said they never saw her wearing them. Honestly, they probably pulled those out of the lost and found. Also, after Rebecca went missing, Disney had a little ceremony. They put flowers at the wall next to the crew pool, but they refused to tell anyone why. But it's assumed they put them there because that's where she got swept away. But the wall was 6 feet tall. A lot of people believe that there's no way she could have been swept over a wall that tall. Disney was just trying too hard to put the story of what happened together, but her parents weren't buying it, and neither was investigative journalist John Ronson. John actually heard of Rebecca's case and went on the ship to try and get more answers. And honestly, he found out way more information than that damn police officer did. While on board, he started to question the staff. But he found out every single member on board was giving him the same answer. They claimed that Rebecca went to Deck 5 that night by the crew's swimming pool, and that's where she fell from. Some believe she was swept up by that wave over that super high wall, whereas others believe she had purposely jumped off to take her own life. Either way, all the answers were eerily similar and almost seemed rehearsed. Now, why would she take her own life? Well, that's where her secret lover comes into play. I know, this case just gets juicier and juicier. After 6 months of staying quiet, Rebecca's lesbian lover, Tracy Medley, came forward with some interesting information. She claims that Rebecca deliberately threw herself off the ship. She claims that not only did Rebecca have a problem with cocaine, but apparently she wanted to take her life and talked about jumping overboard before. But Rebecca had talked to her parents the day before her disappearance and told them she would contact them the following day. Like she had plans to call them. Now, Tracy also worked alongside Rebecca on the cruise ship, and she was having a relationship with her. But Tracy also had a boyfriend at the time. His name was Devin Hyde, and he was the ship's barman. But he was on shore leave, so she got with Rebecca. When he came back on the ship, Tracy continued dating him, and Rebecca was devastated. But on the night of Rebecca's disappearance, Tracy, Rebecca, and Devin had a threesome together. Oh my god, this is like an episode of Pretty Little Liars or Gossip Girl or something. Apparently, this was initiated by Rebecca. Now, they all had been drinking that night, and at one point, Rebecca had a huge freak out. She started screaming, crying, and punching herself in the face. They ended up taking her over to Tracy's room. That same night, Rebecca woke Tracy and said something along the lines of she was feeling like a failure because she wasn't brave enough to jump off the ship. The next morning, when Tracy woke up, Rebecca was gone. Now, remember how the last time Rebecca was seen, she was wearing men's clothing? Well, according to Tracy, this was apparently Devin's clothing. That night, Rebecca said she needed to go for a walk. She wanted to throw something on, and Tracy told Devin to grab her something to wear. So that's why apparently she was wearing men's clothing. But what we still don't know is who Rebecca made that call to at night, and what was the call about. But apparently, Rebecca felt like she had been taken advantage of that night and ran out of the room to get away from Tracy and Devin. Maybe she was calling for help. So now we have two different stories. Disney claiming she got swept away by a wave, Tracy saying she took her own life. And of course, Rebecca's parents believe that she was murdered. I don't know what to believe, but certainly not Disney or Tracy. Like, why after 6 months did she come forward with this information? And why is Disney lying so much to everyone, especially Rebecca's parents? The parents' lawyer, Kim Walker, even said, and I quote, that he was deeply troubled by the lack of cooperation and transparency demonstrated by Disney. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Was Rebecca swept out to sea by a big wave and over a 6-foot-high wall? Was she jealous of her lover's boyfriend and decided to take her own life? Or was she pushed overboard by someone on the ship? Maybe Tracy and Devin. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below which case I should tackle next. And with that being said, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and stick around for some bloopers. Alright guys, I'll see you when I see ya. Bye. What a nice hand shot. Hopefully I don't look like a big blob. Oh, I just had pizza and my belly is full. Rebecca had recently graduated from a sports science degree at Exeter. When the teleprompter doesn't go fast enough. Mike and Ann Coriam, her parents, flew to Los Angeles on the I don't know what that was. Now, while aboard the ship, oh, that's a comma. Disney refused to disclose the. Oh, let me do that again from the top. Oh my god, I totally forgot the mic was there, so I totally just like whispered in your ear. Let me take that from the top. Thank you, Nico. Love you. I should do ASMR. Ah! I apologize. I'm so sorry. The one thing they did capture, though, was of Rebecca at 5:45 on the morning she disappeared. 5:45. That makes sense. That's fine. The security on Disney cruise ships is ultra tight. What? Ultra tight? Who the hell wrote this? Jesus. Ooh, can you take that line and like do that at the beginning? So it's like something sinister is going on and Disney's covering it up. And then do the little beep scream where it's like, and then do on cruise ships, like my regular intro. Hopefully you understand that. I'm talking super fast.
3, 2, 1, action.
She's self-directing.
But her bro, I don't even know what I just said. Can I even say 3 on YouTube? Bro, did I even say that? They monitor the guests' every move. So how is it that they don't have footage of what happened to Rebecca? They claim that Rebecca went to deck 5 that night by the crew's swimming pool, 1,000 passengers, and all the crew members.
I feel very attacked! Relax.
Oh my god, this is like an episode of Pretty Little Liars or Gossip Girl or something.
XOXO.